Hi there, Isabella, and welcome to the Sentence Guide course. Thanks for joining us, and well done for getting this far, and thank you once more for sending us these your first essays. My name's Andrew. I'm part of the crew here with Ben and the others. I'll be reading through your essays, each one that you send, and I'll be offering you some corrections, some advice, and a bit of support to get you through to your exam. I can see already that you have structured your answer quite well. Also, your grammar seems very easy to read. That's nice. Let's have a look. It is widely, not wildly, widely believed that reading is the best way to develop imagination and different skills. Cool. Nevertheless, studies show another story. This essay will demonstrate how enjoyable activities provide more stimulation to children in various ways. Fine. Excuse me. Firstly, playing on games consoles can develop active skills and spatial awareness, which are essential to imagination. I think that it's possible that active skills would be more associated with sports. To refer to something as being active means that it's up and about, that it's doing. And while playing on consoles is actively building skills, as is anything, it's not developing active skills. Running is an active skill, that sort of thing. Spatial awareness, hand-eye coordination, and problem-solving skills, I'd say, for games consoles, which are essential to imagination. This is because the visual and sound effects, or audio-visual effects, of the games stimulate children to stretch limbs in order to respond to the game's instructions. Okay, so that's in order to respond to the game's instructions. It's possessive. Yeah, reading would never offer, or reading could never offer, such an experience. Studies done by Google show that 4 to 5-year-old children, well done for using the hyphens here, but I would also use them here and here, so that it's one long hyphenated phrase. 4 to 5-year-old children, because this whole phrase here is the clarifier of age. It's a range of ages, so we just hyphenate the whole thing. So 4 to 5-year-old children who play visual reality games for at least 2 hours per week. Try to write out numbers when you can as well, because they look a little bit informal in academic essays. They should be, we should be in words as often as possible. It's okay for stuff like this. I mean, I would still write the numbers, as in 4 to 5, but you don't have to if it's like clustered. But when numbers stand out on their own like that, it looks a little bit informal, so it's better to write them out. So at least 2 hours per week outperform other children in, I would say, areas such as music and drawing. Because I'm sure it's plenty of things other than music and drawing. So we say areas such as music and drawing, or creative areas such as music and drawing. Therefore, electronic games motivate children to imagine more through activities in visual scenes than reading. I would talk about in electronic games can assist children in developing a more vivid imagination than reading. Or are we specifically focusing on visual scenes? I would say electronic games motivate children. I mean, if you wanted to be super fancy, you could say electronic games motivate children, or demonstrate to children the extent of human imagination. Because they're looking at the work of others, aren't they? They're looking at other people's creative endeavours and things that other people have imagined. So you could say that electronic games demonstrate to children or reveal to children the potential of human imagination. Because I would be convinced by that argument, because I think reading is the most superb way to help your imagination. But anyway, that's just my opinion. Secondly, sports help children to grow physically and socially. I would say, I'd put a comma there and say which reading alone could not do, or would not do. Which reading alone would not do. This is due to the fact that sports give more opportunities to children to exercise and cooperate with their fellows. Fine. Our recent report, published by Stanford, suggests that 7 to 8-year-old children participate in teams and I would say team sport competitions. We call them team sports. That's the category of sports that they are, team sports. And team sports competitions are 50% quicker at making new friends and 70% stronger in muscle development. I'd say 70% more efficient, because you're talking about the development of muscles. Muscle development can't be strong, but it can be efficient. Muscles can become strong. Muscles can develop into strong muscles. So thus, joining a sports team, I would say sports team, it just sounds a little bit better, or a sporting team. Joining a sports team is a better way than reading to train children to communicate with others, or simply grow muscles. I'm going to leave that there because it's so true. To conclude, I'm convinced that reading is not as good as doing an enjoyable activity for a child to develop capacities to imagine, grow strong, and earn friendships. It is predictable that children who gain these capacities will be able to learn reading skills quickly. Yeah, or it is likely. Yeah, cool. I would have used a few additional phrases. I would have talked about how fun activities are more engaging, that children who remain engaged with what they're doing are more likely to succeed with it. So, a comment on engagement. But other than that, fantastic. Well done. I did not struggle to read through that at all. What I would concentrate on is the listening to the small errors in things like articles and prepositions, as well as some of the vocabulary suggestions. Incorporating as much appropriate vocabulary and accurate grammar as possible, and then reducing small errors is how you progress up to sort of past the 7.5 level. Once you've reduced your errors down and your writing becomes really smooth and really appropriate and really accurate, that's when you can start to think about 8s. So let's have a look at your second. I've just realised there isn't one. If you could go through, like, when you get to your next question, there are 2 questions in each one to do. So what we need you to do now really is to create your error list from this essay, correct this essay using it, send us in one email your corrected essay, your error list, and the 2 new essays from the next part of the course that we've sent you, and we'll get those back to you. Well done for this, but in future please do send both in one email. Thanks again, Isabella. I'll speak to you soon.